And let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, great to see you. We know the first indictment against Comey was eventually dropped, but what's the likelihood that this one sticks? Is there more of an argument this time by the DOJ in this Instagram post?
Well, so the charges are completely different, but I would expect Comey to attack this before it even gets to trial to try and get it thrown out before it moves through the process. And the argument will likely be that this is a vindictive prosecution. And Gotti is going to look back to that first indictment and say, well, that one didn't stick. So now the DOJ is coming after me with something different. So that would be argument number one. The second argument will be that the speech in this Instagram post was protected First Amendment speech. And all of that will likely be raised before this case goes through the process. I would expect it to be raised in the early stages to try and get this thrown out before it ever makes it to a jury.
And Misty, there's the court, and then there's the court of public opinion, and both of those are in play here. But as you know, I mean, if this thing goes to court, you've got discovery, you've got maybe access to all kinds of, I don't know, text messages, all kinds of things that can be opened in the discovery process. You've also got the possibility that he's handcuffed, right? I mean, are we going to see both of those things here?
Yeah, so as far as an arrest, there is an arrest warrant that was handed down by the grand jury, which means that there was probable cause. That's what the grand jury determined to indict and also to issue an arrest warrant. So it's questionable what's going to happen next. In general, once there's an arrest warrant, the U.S. Marshals would come and arrest the individual. They'd go before a judge. The judge would make a determination about whether they're held behind bars or released on their own recognizance or something else. I would expect Comey's attorneys are probably trying to work with law enforcement to turn him in. Gotti, what we can expect as far as next steps is that once an arrest is made, or if he turns himself in, there's a initial conference, an arraignment that usually happens within 24 to 48 hours. So we could see that coming very, very soon.
And I know it's been almost a year since that post, and the DOJ has been working on the indictment since last May. Like, how does that process work? How did this work with the grand jury? How did they indict him on this?
So he was indicted today, is what we learned at that press conference with Todd Blanche. The grand jury returned the true bill on these two charges today, but it was the result of a year-long investigation. You'll see in the indictment, Gotti, which Kelly broke down, there's not a lot of additional information. It's really the bare minimum, which is not unusual for an indictment. But the question is, what other evidence exists and was collected during this year-long investigation that we're not seeing? So Kelly herself, as well as others, asked questions of Todd Blanche about what else we might see. And he didn't answer anything out of the four corners of the indictment. But to your point, Gotti, you could see a lot of electronic messages, witnesses, all of that would be at play if this case makes its way to trial.
Yeah, that discovery would be pretty wild. Misty Marris, thank you so much.